business and culture that orbit the sports world. Whether it's the latest blockbuster trade or the societal impact of sports. 2 Men On, with your hosts, Van Nunley and Fred Slow, with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Mike's hot.
It's Wednesday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? That means the boys are at the McLeod YMCA, where we're hanging out until, all right, I can't figure out the clock anymore on this show. We're here till 5, 5:45, 6. We're actually going to 11 tonight.
5:45?
Like, I don't know. Isaiah
Maybe.
smarted me up here. How late is this show on today? I prepared 4 hours worth of content.
Oh, good.
But I just don't know.
I bring 4 hours of content every day.
Okay, that's not good.
About 45 minutes of it's good.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the communication we're getting visually is that Isaiah can't hear you.
Can't hear me.
Or us. I don't know.
Both of us. That's a bummer.
That's a bummer, man.
It's a bummer, man. Because we are set up like we normally are.
Hello. All right. What do you think? Okay.
Montano, those river crossings moving up to speed.
Isaiah,
We're
can you hear
dealing
me
with
now?
congestion right now, southbound
here.
on Coors as you approach Irving.
Brought to you by Tomasitas, celebrating 50 years of food, family, and friends.
The year was 1974, and something delicious was cooking in Santa Fe. That was the year that Tomasitas opened its doors and started serving authentic home.
We're gonna re-kick it off.
All right.
In Santa Fe or Albuquerque and taste the tradition. Tomasitas, celebrating 50 years of food, family, and friends.
Ladies and boys and girls, and sports fans of all ages, broadcasting live from
I could turn you on so you can talk over it so people aren't confused if you want.
Sports Entertainment Talk.
Okay.
Ready for in-depth discussions on everything from the court to the field, mixed with the business and culture that orbit the sports world. Whether it's the latest blockbuster trade,
Oh, it's the same spot.
impact of sports.
Okay, well, it sounds good now.
2 Men
So we'll see.
with your hosts, Van Nunley and
All right, Mike's hot.
with producer Isaiah Johnson on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
It's Wednesday, Albuquerque. You know what that means? That means the boys are at the McLeod YMCA. We're all the way up in the Heights talking to you about health, fitness, and everything in the world of sports. Isaiah Johnson back at the studio. Van, how are you, brother?
Doing good, babe. Hey, glad to be here.
Yeah.
Glad to get the tech diffs out of the way. You know what? Only 2 minutes into the show.
That's our thing.
That's a good time to knock it out.
Well, you know, it's a whole deal. You know, Ice Topes were on the Rock Channel last night.
Yeah. Mhm.
And if I ever had a reason to blame anything on the UNM coaches show, let's do that. Let's say it was the coaches
sweet.
show.
Yeah.
That's what set it up for failure, really.
Good start, Bronco.
Yeah, figure it out, boys.
Yeah.
Figure it out. Lobo's got a big game this upcoming Saturday. Surprise, surprise, tickets still available. So if you're
How many, like 3 or 4?
Some.
Like the last
some.
3? Last 4?
Come down to the House Zone, though, and hang out with Duke City Championship Wrestling. Also, the Sports Animal will be down there. The pregame starts 3 hours before. I think it wraps up pregame. I'm sorry, the tailgate.
Okay.
And pregame before the tailgate. And then
I'll be pre-gaming all day.
Oh, and the night previous too.
Definitely.
When I was at Washington State as a child, as a college kid, that was a thing. Like, because you would play Saturday afternoon, so you started Thursday after class. So it was all Thursday night because it was a Thursday. No, and at Washington State, I don't know if all colleges did this. You either went to class Monday, Wednesday, or you went to class Tuesday, Thursday.
Right.
That was it. There were no Friday classes.
Nobody stacks them Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday.
No.
You do two.
You do
and
two.
You go all day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they had it set up to was like, get your degree 2 days a week or whatever. And you're like, yes, like,
nice.
Yeah, I could be a full-time employee somewhere too or something, but you never did
I'm going to be managing this Arby's in 6 months.
I mean, be realistic. Be realistic. We never talked about this on air. My sister ran an Arby's for years.
Okay.
Did you know the roast beef comes as a liquid? It doesn't
it's
jellify
gross.
until they cook it.
Yep, the Taco Bell
That's
ground beef
disgusting.
comes as a powder.
Oh, is that a fact?
Yeah, you
Are
add water to it.
serious?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Oh, my
Isaiah's like, this is,
How is any of this a surprise to you, Zay?
is this most,
I know they did this type of thing with like eggs. You know, it just comes in like a bag. But I didn't know that meats came as a liquid. That's
first
gross.
of all, what do you think egg is?
Well, you know, when they give it to you, I'd rather them cook it there. But sometimes they'll just pull out just straight bags of. You know, that's kind of gross to me.
No, so it comes in like a sloshy bag, boy.
Yeah,
Think like the way. Have you ever had a fake cheese out of a nacho cheese machine?
of course.
Okay,
Mhm.
think
Yeah,
like
that's
the-
what I'm
I've been to
thinking
the
of.
movies.
yeah. So it's like
Uh-huh.
so Arby's meat comes as fake cheese, and then I'm not joking. I think they boil it or something like in the bag, and then it solidifies some, and then they cook it. I think that's accurate.
Oh.
No, it comes in. I thought it came in like a compressed bag, and when they put it in hot water, it gets hard.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it gets
I'm literally
hard,
saying yes.
and then they act like they're slicing it, like they play pretend.
no, they do slice
they
it.
pretend-y, like they're slicing
No, it's
meat,
brother.
but they're
it's sliced.
slicing a glob.
Yeah. Now, also, we're not at all talking about the market fresh. That's a different
That's
story.
your jam.
I mean, if we're
you're
gonna
a
go to
you're a
Arby's,
market fresh apologist.
you
You
know,
always have been.
you know, I've been on the keto. You know, I'm on the keto now.
Mhm.
So I went to the
You market fresh sandwich with just lettuce on the outside.
No. I went to one of
Yeah.
those restaurants where it's they cut the meat at your table today.
Okay,
All right, so I went to one of those
Brazilian.
for lunch. Yeah, Brazilian, the food, not the lifestyle.
Yeah, not the
So-
trimming method.
Yeah, so they trim the meat at the table.
That kind of
Is
trim.
that what you're talking about?
Uh-huh.
They trim it onto your plate,
Yeah.
and you have to grab it with your thong.
Yes.
Tongs,
vulgar
your
hate-
tongs.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, so
it-
so we go to this place and they're doing it, and so I had an all meats lunch
Yeah.
from the at your table meat stop.
Yeah, when you were a children, did you ever like just put your head underneath the soda fountain and just pound it like that? You'd
Yeah.
go, "Cack, cack, 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 cack."
Correct.
That's what I do with those Brazilian restaurants. I just put my mouth right below
Mhm.
the meat guy
When I
and
used
just say, "There's no need for a plate,
All right.
hermano."
505-246-0610. What's the grossest thing you've ever done to a communal food?
What's the grossest
what
thing
we-
you ever heard on the show?
Yeah.
Was that just it?
Yeah. Did you ever put your mouth on the Slurpee spout, like on the male part of the
Mhm.
Slurpee spout, and just let it just slurp in your mouth?
Yeah, I saw a guy doing that one time at 7-Eleven, and he wasn't even pulling the lever. He was just like
Yeah.
getting down on the spout.
Just using centrifugal force.
Yeah. Dude had
Sounds
some
like
lungs.
Circle K activity.
Yeah, he was
Sounds more like Circle K.
Strange
Somebody
things
said
are
Circle K.
afoot.
kickstarting that thing with his lungs.
It's a kickstart to the show. The best game that's currently being played right now, the best like sporting, like the best thing to keep score at right now
Yeah.
is the RNC versus the DNC.
Oh
Like,
man.
that's the number one matchup right now
Okay.
in the whole world. And last night I watched the DNC blow the RNC out of the water with live musical performances at their conventions.
Hell, normal sized John was there.
Yes, no,
Yeah.
no. Oh, Little John from Robin Hood.
I
Is that who
mean,
you're talking about?
he's a grown up now, so like he's fully grown, not little anymore. Just
What do
just
you
a normal sized guy.
are you turning him down?
Just normal sized John.
Are you turning him down right
For
now?
what?
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
So he came out and did the joke that everyone has ever done, which is Tim Walls.
Mm-hmm.
And I was so very impressed by this. And I said, okay, well, Steve Kerr, the first night we got the world of sports, we got all this going on. I go, there's got to be sports tonight. There's like, give me more sports, give me more entertainment, give me more. There was no more sports. They went to legitimate, like political figures, and
Yeah.
I believe,
Except for Little John. Excuse me, Lil John.
from
Except for Lil John.
Robin Hood.
Yeah, no TTLE in there.
Who's that?
LIL.
TTLE.
Well, that's how you spell little, like LITTLE.
Oh, I thought that was a
LIL.
rapper. I
No.
thought TTLE was a rapper.
It's TI.
I'm very bad at this.
Tip.
So the score right now is in that head-to-head matchup, I believe Lil Jon greater than Symbol Kid Rock.
Let's do Lil John record sales.
Also, is the most entertaining thing in the history of the entire world old people dancing to old pop songs? Like, is there anything more exciting or entertaining than when the camera pans across all these old white people
Mm.
dancing to popular rap songs
Oh.
from 12 to 20 years ago?
Oh, when an old bag of Wonder Bread catches a groove, there's nothing like
It's
it,
my
baby.
favorite thing.
Uh-huh.
And they're going, oh yeah, turned down for what?
I think it's super funny when you see the videos of them dancing to modern, like new stuff, because it's like, how are you that updated?
Dog,
like,
they don't even know what's new. They don't know if turned down for what is new.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
Gosh, it was the worst last night. Sports were the worst last night. There was nothing. I was like flipping through baseball. I'm trying to find. I'm like, give me any game last night. And they all finished early because I guess there's day games today. And I was like, what is going on? How did I get so ignorant to the world of sport that there wasn't a cool thing to watch on a Tuesday night? And then I went to turn Hard Knocks on, but it was Oppo, the DNC, and I was like, why can't I just jump over?
No. Absolutely not. I watch Hard Knocks a day late.
I haven't watched it yet.
I might skip Hard Knocks and do a double feature next week because the DNC has been so entertaining.
So good.
Like literate people speaking on the State of the Union. Like, it is wild. People talking about like hope and love and courage and the spirit of democracy and not just trying to scare me into doing
and
stuff.
How that influenced the New York Yankees to run that weird Staten Island Little League coach through the mud and telling him how much he can learn from Aaron Judge and be an example for the kids he claims to coach.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Deserved it.
Let's go with that. Also,
don't mess with the Yankees and Aaron Judge.
Why did the Yankees even recognize this cat? Like, you don't acknowledge this.
They're not acknowledging the loser who lied to the country and saying Aaron Judge hates children. They're getting Aaron Judge's back. They're pro Aaron Judge, not anti this Staten Island loser.
They invited the team to a Yankees game.
Everyone but the coach.
The coach got invited too.
Any chaperone can come, just not the coach.
Here's the thing. You can come, but you have to arm wrestle Aaron Judge. That's the deal. As soon as you walk in.
It's got to be the worst thing a baseball player could do, I can imagine.
God, hey.
Is arm wrestle somebody.
There's no better way in sports to quote-unquote own someone than to do exactly what the Yankees just did. For the Yankees to say, oh, you're going to make fun of probably the best player on the planet currently, probably the most popular franchise on the planet, probably like the most dedicated fan base on the planet. You're going to do that. You know what we're going to do? Kill you with kindness, brother. We're going to bring you out. We're going to make sure you get a free Yankees hat. We're going to give everyone Aaron Judge jerseys. We're going to sit you right in the green seats behind home plate for the world to see ya. That's what I'm talking about, New York Yankees. This guy plays dumb. Treat him dumber.
Sure.
Like, this is like Barack Obama energy right now.
I got to make an official statement right here.
Yeah.
Steinbrenner family, New York Yankees. Juan Soto called me a bleeping expletive bleeping.
Yeah,
bleep.
Please don't give me tickets.
So I think season tickets will be
need an autograph
bat. Fair autograph bat, maybe tour of the bones of the stadium.
Yeah, correct. I would like to see where Babe Ruth's jockstrap is. I want to know. I want to find that.
Yeah. Just one whiff, like not like creepy, just like one whiff.
I am that guy in that life right now. The Yankees were so mad. They were like, listen, how can we get even with this jerk youth coach? Like, how can we teach him a lesson? They said, I will just treat his team really well because he doesn't. Also, any dude that says that 12-year-olds pay someone's salary, that's a weird dude.
Yeah, well, that's impressive. Like, these 12-year-old little leaguers are able to afford the New York Yankees. Buy them from the Steinbrenners.
All right. Isaiah, do me a favor. Pull out the calculator on your phone. The free one that came with it is fine. But if you paid $1 for an improved one because math is hard, we need to figure out how many allowances it takes of 12-year-olds to pay the salary of Aaron Judge. So go ahead and pick his number, divide by what's an allowance number in 2024?
I don't know.
$5 a day? I don't know.
$5 a day?
Is that an allowance
in
number?
In this economy?
Is $25 a week an allowance amount? I don't know.
That's so much money.
Is it less?
I bet
than
these
that?
kids are getting I bet they're getting $50 a week.
All right, 50. All right, so take Aaron Judge's salary. Let's figure that out real quick. I'm gonna pull that up right here. Aaron Judge's salary. I got it for
50 a week. Haircuts used to be
$40
$15,
million.
$20.
All right, so take the number
million?
40 million. Okay, so that's a 40, 6 zeros after that, and then divide that by 50. Okay.
800,000.
So you need 800,000 kids, and that's only if you do it for 1 week. So let's say there's 52 weeks. So we're going to say a year's worth of children. Okay, so 50 times 52, because we're trying to figure out if these kids can afford to pay us $2,600. So take what number did you say it was? 40 million? Is that what you said?
Yes.
All right, so take 40 million and divide it by $2,600.
That's only 15,000 kids' years worth of allowances.
It only takes 15,000 kids to give their entire year's allowance for Aaron Judge to play baseball. It's pretty good. Maybe
Van got an A in math.
I didn't get the percentage. I just got the number.
Can you imagine that? What was the number? 15,000?
13,000.
13,000 kids pay your salary, brother.
Yeah.
What?
That's a lot of tickets he's got to give away.
You idiot. And
how many Little League? Okay, let's keep it going.
Hey, also, we're being overly generous. I don't think kids get $50 a week. I think that Isaiah grew up with a silver spoon in his mouth. Because, brother, that's like $200 a month. That's like $250 a month. That's like so much money for a kid. And I'm talking allowance. I'm not talking expenses. Okay, I get that kids are expensive. Like miss me with that. I'm not talking like your total benefit package, including health insurance and vacation days. I'm talking just your take home.
How many kids are on a Little League roster?
Real number 15.
15, right?
Oh, wait, you got to practice 18. Let's say 18.
Okay, 18. Okay.
No, let's say 2 will get sick. Let's say 20.
Okay, I'll get it even. I like that. Even 20.
Yeah,
even 20. 769 Little League teams to pay Aaron Judge's annual salary.
Okay, so how about this though? So realistically, what do you think is the split between, if you were to take a MLB game, or even just fans, take people in attendance and add that to the people watching also, and ask yourself what percentage of that is adults and what percentage is kids? Because if you do think that kids, I think maybe what that guy's saying, and I'm sure you guys know, but I think he's pushing the agenda that maybe Aaron Judge is more kid fans than adult fans. So maybe most of his jersey sales and a lot of the tickets being sold at Yankee Stadium are from kids, unless you think that, I know beer and stuff, of course, is going to pack in way more adults.
That's a good
point. A lot of people go just to drink and have a good time, but maybe he does have a lot of kids that are pushing his popularity.
Well, Zay, let me help you with your logic here. And the logical fallacy you're using is that you're using logic at all. This isn't a logical statement. Children do not pay his salary. These are the ramblings of an old maniac. This guy is a fool. Big business pays his salary.
All right, so here's what we're doing here. So Yankee Stadium's capacity is 46,537.
Okay.
The average New York Yankee ticket is $434.43. Okay.
That is insane.
So that means per game, if they sell out, and they don't sell out every game, so I'm not going to be the guy that says they do. And they give away some comps. And some tickets cost $5 and some tickets cost $5,000.
Mm-hmm.
I'm surprised they don't sell out every game.
Well, it's hard. You know what I mean? Like a day game on a Wednesday in Manhattan.
Okay.
You don't want to pay the $50 to go through the tunnel. You don't want to pay to come back. What are you going to do? The transit authority. There's, we live in a really accessible town where people complain about 20 minutes to get anywhere. You ever been to New York? So on a home game for the New York Yankees, they will bring in, this is a real number, $20,217,068.91.
Mm-hmm.
They're covering Aaron Judge's salary in 2 games. If all games are sellouts. They're not all sellouts, but you get the point.
Okay. If they raise ticket prices,
oh God, here we go,
to $862,
which is that's multiplying it by 2.
You could pay Aaron Judge's salary in 1 game.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I guess some kids do, a small little percentage.
What?
Maybe, and they're going to have that one kid who actually was responsible enough to save up enough money to buy his own ticket.
That's only, what, 17 weeks a kid has to save his allowance to buy 1 Yankees ticket to pay for 140,000 of a 1 Aaron Judge ticket.
What do we say?
Maybe these kids are. Maybe this guy is completely right, and these little kids are paying.
What do we say we're paying kids a year? $2,600.
Yeah.
All right. So what is that number? $2,600. You only need 7,775 kids times 2. So you need 14,000. That's the number you gave us. So
Yeah,
there you go.
you're
It's
welcome.
settled.
Yeah.
We figured it out. Reverse mathology.
Yeah, 15,384 kids
Send them.
to pay your salary.
Send them.
You jerk.
When we get back. I love the Yankees. I'm a huge Yankee guy right now. When we get back, we continue from the McLeod YMCA. It's 2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
Bye.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. Of course, we are live from the Cloud YMCA. I like this little song. Got a bunch of NFL updates, headlines, this, that, and the other thing. All right, so Bo Nix is going to be the starter for the Broncos. That makes perfect sense. Like, there's
kids earned it.
What? By what? Being drafted?
by playing lights out in the preseason and playing significantly better than the other young quarterbacks who have been in the league longer than him?
None of that means anything.
Yeah, it does.
Preseason does not matter, and I'm not going to let you trick me into pretending like you think it does. It means so very little. He was the starter before he signed the contract. He was the starter the second he got drafted. They have nothing there. And it's a team that has nothing around him. They don't have any skill guys. They're not going to win any games. They will be the worst team in football. And they're going to give him a chance to get beat up for a long time, give him Derek Carr syndrome, and then try to struggle to figure out what happened.
You know, I'm always a big proponent, unless you got like an Andrew Luck or a Caleb Williams or a Peyton Manning, like a no doubt NFL prospect that can step in and play ball like at a high level. Always ease your rookie into it. Because look, if you're bad already and you put a rookie in, he's going to be bad. And if that's your goal, I know this happens a lot in baseball. I know it happens a lot in basketball. Not often do NFL teams actively tank. But I am advocating for you, NFL team, if you have a young rookie quarterback, draft a couple offensive linemen, get a couple offensive linemen in free agency, set this kid up for success before you throw him in there, because football history is riddled with first-round losers who didn't have a shot because they're on a garbage team and, just like you said, got David Carr syndromed.
I don't think at all anyone should be excited for Bo Nix. Because if you've looked the best of the really bad quarterbacks in Denver, what have you done? It's not a challenge to look the best of the junk that they have up there. Oh, you're the least rusty piece of metal we have laying around? Impressive.
I don't know if I think that you can be excited, but I also don't. I think that there could have been a very, very bad deal if he was not the starter, given how many years he was in college. So it's like, if you're in college for that many years and you're getting drafted, a team's going to be expecting you to come in and produce quicker than maybe somebody who's like 20 or 21. So if he would have came in and then was stinking the joint up and wasn't, producing anything in the preseason and was not named a starter, that would be a really bad sign.
Well, I think even if he was stinking the joint up, look around him. Like, if he went there and was like, hey, you know what I'm going to do? Act like a professional. And then he was surrounded by a bunch of guys who don't have it. Name a running back. Name a wide receiver.
Yeah.
I'm not joking. Who's their best guy? Noah Fant? Is he still there?
No, he's not. He got traded. Cortland Sutton is a good number 2. He just, unfortunately, is their number 1.
Yeah.
Javonte Williams, running back, he'd be a great number 2. He'd be a great change of pace on another team. He's their starter.
The only reason he would not start, the only reason is if they're trying to not get him killed. And it sounds to me like the Broncos do not care about Bo Nix. They want him hurt.
I don't think they want the guy hurt.
I mean, they're asking for it.
Yeah. I don't understand. You can say that with confidence. I'm looking at their quarterbacks.
Else? I mean,
they got nothing. They had nothing last year. They thought they had something last year. They thought they had Russell Wilson and it was going to be the thing. Here's what you do. You want a guy who can run around behind a really terrible line and lose you a bunch of games? They already have him. It's Zach Wilson. Go put him out there.
Okay. I have a little bit of proof that they care.
Okay.
Because so they drafted Bo, right? He's out of Oregon. And they also drafted one of his favorite receivers, Troy Franklin, out of Oregon. Now, this is something that we've seen. Now, typically we wouldn't think too much of this, but recently we've actually seen this. We've seen this strategy work a little bit before. You got Joe Burrow and Chase.
Yeah.
And I think that you can, if you take a quarterback and you give him one of his favorite receivers from college, you also hit the fast forward button on the transitional period for a college
Tua and Waddle.
Yes.
Well, and what was this cat's name?
Hurts got Smith.
Yeah.
What's the cat's name that you just talked about from Oregon, the wide receiver?
Troy Franklin.
Okay. No offense to Troy
3rd
Franklin.
round.
I don't. Maybe he ends up being an all-time great.
Mhm.
Maybe he ends up being a dynamic game changer that you can rely on. I'm telling you right now, week 1 of both of their rookie seasons, no. Let them sit on the bench together and build a strong fellowship and be like, hey, as soon as these slouches are done, you and I are going to step up next year, graduate from JV to varsity, and we're going to have a squad behind us. By the way, we'll be healthy, and we'll know the playbook, and we'll have actually traveled to a city for an away game, and we know how it works to get off the airplane on the bus and not get distracted by Bumble and Grinder notifications the whole time we're out of town. Maybe they could do that.
Been there.
Well, okay, so Troy Franklin's a receiver, and I don't think you give receivers that type of, you put receivers out there and you let them go out there and see what they can do. And for Bo Nix's case, again, referring to his age, you don't want to let him sit because, he seems young as a 24-year-old, but in NFL years, it's an old rookie. So if you let him sit for even like a year or say 2 years, you're looking at a guy who's got 2 big contracts left in him. So I think you want to try to get him going fast and maybe move on if you don't like him.
It's not about arbitration. I mean, I don't care about contract years.
Yeah.
Like,
if he's your guy, he's worth all the money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like,
but you don't want to find out now while the team's garbage.
Well, no, he's worth all the money, but I mean, like, if you're thinking you want to get this guy cemented long term, you don't want to waste years if he's already older than most rookies. It wouldn't shock me if he was the oldest guy drafted.
Ever?
I know he was breaking record. He was breaking records for the most games played. Some record like that he broke. I can confirm that, but he just broke a college record for like the most starts ever.
Well, I don't have a problem with Bo Nix's age at all. Like 24 does not terrify me in a league where guys only play 2.5 seasons.
Right.
Like I'm not at all worried about that. I'm not like we just joked about it yesterday. Joe Mixon's washed up. He's 28.
Right.
It's not like Derrick Henry, who was doing 65 carries a game in high school, 65 carries a game in college, and then 55 carries a game in the NFL. Like, this is super soft. The rules are made for you to play forever. Learn the game, Bo Nix.
Again, only 24. I know that is old for a NFL rookie, but he's got experience at a high level in college.
He has 15 more years to play professional football.
For sure. Let me refer you to my friend Tom Brady.
Well,
how about Aaron Rodgers? How about all these guys playing into their 40s? Like, wild.
You say Warren Moon's name.
I will
say it right.
Never
you
say
Warren. Vinny
Testaverde. Never
you
say
Warren. Doug Flutie. You say it.
Here is the only way I would say that it's a good idea to sit him. If there was somebody else that could teach him. But I think all of those quarterbacks that you just named, and most coaches would agree, that if your quarterback, unless he has like a mentor or somebody that can do it better, the best way for him to learn is to go out there and learn with actual play. Like, if he's not playing, he's not going to be getting any better unless he had another quarterback that was like, better than him in front of him. And you were going on earlier saying how bad the other quarterbacks were. So he's got nobody to learn from. So what's he really?
No. Hold on. That part's the part, because he does. Because he can watch Zach Wilson learn how to take a hit.
Yeah.
Like, because that's what he's going to learn. He's going to learn what a really aggressive, wants to hurt a first-round quarterback Las Vegas Raiders defense looks like.
Sure.
Because that's what this stuff is. It's not.
Okay, let me ask you this. What was stopping the Texans from doing that with C.J. Stroud last year?
Well, he's very good.
Don't use hindsight.
That's a whole different story.
But don't
There's no
use
hindsight.
hindsight,
He's incredible.
though.
Freaking nature. The only quarterback in the league better than C.J. Stroud this year is going to be Bryce Young. That's the only one.
But we're not going off. We're not going off of Bo Nix's talent, though. We're saying that the team is so bad that he needs to just not play. But the Texans were arguably projected to be just as bad without CJ.
They had so much talent.
They were a bad team without Stroud.
No, they were excellent. They had guys on the outside. They had an adequate running game, really good defense.
They had a better defense in Denver, better playmakers than Denver.
How much better?
Lots.
How much better?
Lots.
So if you take Stroud off the Texans, and then you put Bo Nix, you take the Broncos without Bo Nix, it'd be a close game. Thursday night football.
You put Bryce Young on the Texans, they're undefeated.
Is there a different Bryce Young in the NFL now, Fred? Is there like a new guy named Bryce Young? Because I've seen the other Bryce Young play, the number 1 pick from last year.
Listen, I'm telling you what happened.
He's going to make he'll be making your favorite Market Fresh sandwiches in 18 months.
CJ Stroud got in the shotgun. He looked to his right. He saw Rex Burkhead, and Rex Burkhead said, "I got you, brother."
Yeah,
and he knew everything was going to be all right.
You got the Tom Brady rub
from Rex Burkhead.
Exactly.
Secondhand.
It's like COVID, but it makes you a good quarterback.
And see, that's why Denver needs somebody like that to give Bo Nix the rub if you're letting him sit.
Isaiah's Cowboy corner whenever we get back. Also, Isaiah, heads up because of the technical diffs to start. Try to figure it out. We're going to do one more segment. We'll make this whole thing work somehow. 2 Men On 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal. Back on the program, back on 2 Men On, live from the McLeod YMCA. Big thank you to friend just though John, who just came up. He was incredibly nice, said some incredibly nice things. Like nice people. That's my thing.
It's pretty cool when nice people like what we're doing.
Yeah, he didn't say anything nice about Isaiah, but he got me and you. He did say forget the Cowboys.
Yep.
And speaking of it, it's Isaiah's Cowboy Corner. Isaiah, we're ready.
Okay, so as you hear in the background, you got So Sick Classic by Neo.
Okay.
Nothing bad to say about Neo, right?
Never heard that. I don't
know.
How can we say something bad about someone we've never heard of?
Sure. I mean,
that's a lie.
Single-handedly destroyed the Matrix and saved mankind. It's a big Neo house here.
Is this Nellie's kid?
It wouldn't shock me if they're related.
Okay.
Anyways, the song name is So Sick. And I'm super sick of Jerry Jones's repeated comments on CeeDee Lamb's contract situation. And in this song by Neo, he says, I'm so sick of love songs. I'm so sick of all these different things. And Jerry, we're sick of you telling us that you're going to sign CD and that you want him here. And I guess according to Jerry Jones, talks are promising. Okay, so there's...
I've never heard him say he was going to sign CD. Now, I heard him talk about the receiver. Is that the same person?
CeeDee Lamb, yes, not like a CD. Maybe if you handed him
no.
CeeDee
Lamb, the person. I've never heard Jerry Jones say his name. He only calls him the receiver. The receiver.
He does. I think he's maybe referred to him a couple times, but he does only talk about it when he's asked. And he was asked about it again, and he said that they've been having talks. There's promising talks, and he did say that he has no doubt that a deal will get done. But then he says, "I can't speak for him." Of course, he's not going to say CD there. But he says, I can't speak for him, but I do believe a deal's going to get done. And he says, if I didn't want him here, I wouldn't have offered him the deal I offered him. Now, that's what raises my eyebrow, because obviously whatever deal he's been offered is not a deal that he's taken.
Well, let's be clear here. If Jerry Jones was the GM at the time, he never would have traded Herschel Walker. So, like, Jerry Jones don't know what Jerry Jones is doing.
Also, like, not using a guy's real name or not using his first name, that's some Monsieur Candy stuff. Yeah.
That's a shot.
Yeah.
Like the
I
fake.
don't think he's purposefully.
Yeah, for sure he is. It's on purpose.
Yeah.
Look, I'm not even going to say his name.
No, that's
it's like that.
Yeah, you know the fake Twitter ones you give us all the time? This is a real one. This is when you don't say someone's name because you don't want their name in your mouth, that is a one.
Okay,
that guy. Go ahead.
No, he says he wants him there. So maybe he likes him enough to want him on the team. Maybe he has something to do with his football abilities. But I think we all want CD there.
Yeah.
And he says that he's confident a deal's going to get done. Now, what I'm also so sick of as the Cowboys fan is the injury bug. And it hasn't bitten us too bad. And I don't want to say yet, or else I'd have to, knock on some wood. But I was on here raving about Tyler Guyton, and he comes out of training camp today with soreness in his knee. Now, I guess it's not too big of a deal, so we don't have anything to worry about.
Oh, JJ McCarthy, not too big of a deal. Okay, keep going.
Yep.
But I think he actually walked off the field, right, and there's no damage believed to be done. And it says he took himself out. I don't know exactly what that means. That's not the best look always, especially as a rookie.
The only
usually
grit
you
he
want the
has
trainers
is in his knee.
That's a good. I like that. Because they coaches will always tell you the trainers have to pull you out. You don't pull yourself out of practice. Leave it up to the trainers.
That's what bad coaches say.
Yeah, bad coaches say.
Bad coaches say
pull yourself out.
Yeah.
Go see a trainer. Let a medical professional figure out what's going on in your knee.
You know what? That doesn't look right. Go ahead and step away. You know what I don't need is a degree to tell you when I see a dislocated finger. I don't need that.
And I think as Cowboy fans, we're sick of the things we prize so much. They go down. It happened with Diggs last year. And then even last week, I was raving about Mozzie Smith, looking good. And then he misses the last game with an allergic reaction. So he had an allergic reaction. And because of this allergic reaction, he did not travel with the team to Vegas. And Mozzie is also supposed to be one of our most improved players if we're going to have any type of success in this season. So I'm not exactly sure what his allergic reaction was to, but he had a really bad allergic reaction bad enough to not be able to play. So it seems like that bad luck cloud is starting to loom a little bit over Dallas.
Well,
and I just hope it goes away.
I heard that Jerry Jones just signed Harrison Smith, so CD Lamb really needs to watch out.
Well, we have a caller.
Is
so I'm
that
going to see
accurate?
who's calling Cowboy Corner.
If you remember,
who's going to railroad Cowboy Corner today? This is exciting.
Harrison Smith super choked him out. If you remember that,
I don't.
It was a whole thing.
Oh, bummer.
It's a couple years old.
Jerry Jones or CD Lamb?
Well, no. Harrison Smith choked CD Lamb.
So CD Lamb. Okay.
Yeah, I don't have a lot.
He didn't choke Jerry Jones.
No.
Okay.
No one is
joining us in the show is friend of the show Lenny, and my first Cowboy Corner caller. And I'm glad Lenny's calling back. So welcome back.
Did you get everything off your chest, say, before Lenny gets going?
Lenny tearing into him.
Yes, I did. And I love the way Lenny waited.
Look. I gave him a break today, and I let him talk about 5 minutes too long. So, I mean, I'm excited for the Cowboys because, again, they're going to go to the Super Bowl with tickets that they get from the NFL to watch it from the stadium. You know, it's just not going to happen with Jerry Jones as the GM/owner, period. Jones is only concerned about one thing, the money that the team makes. They're the only team in the league that has a separate merchandise deal from every other team. And when has Jerry ever hired a coach or a GM to run the team?
I didn't know that about Dallas's merchandise. That's interesting.
Jerry Jones took the NFL to court to get a separate merchandising deal just for them.
Well, to his credit, I don't even have to look into it. I would imagine that if there was some type of like deal where everyone was getting a share, I bet the Cowboys were outselling the other team so much. He's like, this isn't fair. I deserve
they
more.
were outselling. I mean, how many people are buying Carolina Panther and Jacksonville jerseys?
Now, to be fair, the Dallas Cowboys are 16% of merchandise sales for the NFL.
Okay, but let's be fair. Let's look at the situation. You have CeeDee Lamb, who should be getting $33 to $34 million a year.
Agreed.
With $100 million guaranteed, just to give him the money up front loaded with a bonus, so it takes care of the back end later on. 5-year deal. Jerry only wants to give him 4. That's fine. But then you got Micah Parsons. Okay. You can't run the defense without Micah Parsons.
Yeah, no, don't play with Micah. Give him his money fast.
Okay, so you're going to have to pay him. And Dak is in the best position of any player ever for free agency in the history of the NFL.
History.
And if he doesn't get his money, and if he I'm going to put it this way. I'll give him early prediction for Dak, and I'm not a Cowboy fan. He's going to throw for 4,300 yards, 32 TDs, 11 interceptions.
Okay, that's very realistic.
Only 11 picks?
It's 9.5 on Prize Picks. Take them more.
Because this year, Brandon Cooks is going to step up and remember how to catch a football.
I would love that.
Okay, so now, if he just has that as a season, he's getting a $60 million contract next year.
From a lot of different teams.
From anyone. There are 12 teams that will back up. And if Kirk Cousins can get the contract that he get, what do you think Dak would get? Regardless of the fact the Cowboys can't sniff a playoff win.
Yeah, that's why when you said history, I was trying to think, but given, he is 30.
I went to the last 3 Cowboys Super Bowls, and that was all teams Jerry inherited.
You were at those, huh?
Yes. I was sitting right there when Todd Blackledge threw those 2 interceptions to the cornerback for the Cowboys, who then went on to a big contract with the Raiders and flamed out after he returned those 2 for a touchdown.
Was that Neil O'Donnell paying off gambling debts by throwing the Super Bowl?
Yeah, it was Larry Brown.
We could have caught those interceptions. He should have just walked up and go, here, have the ball.
Well, you know what? You guys remember when the Cowboys were beating world beaters like Neil O'Donnell?
Yeah, Neil O'Donnell had Michael Jordan's bookie. Yeah.
Larry Brown.
But when is the Cowboys going to step up? This year they have a chance to win the division because you have the dysfunctional Eagles. And when you have a coach and a quarterback that can't get along, Nick Sirianni will be gone by game 3 if they start out 1-2.
Yeah, Lenny, when you called last time, I remembered you said that. And then I started hearing more reports of them not getting along. And I was like, he was spot on with that one because they're actually, they're at odds. And I'm hearing that Big Dom is the leader of
I
practices.
think Sirianni is the first or second coach in betting odds to get fired.
I hope McCarthy's first.
And that's the other thing. How many teams go in with 3 free agents and a lame duck coach?
Just one this year.
So let's say McCarthy goes 11
Bill
and 5,
Belichick.
11 and 6, 12 and 5. McCarthy is going to get a contract somewhere else too. And you go, Jerry, you know what? I love you. I'm done. I'll go somewhere else.
If I'm McCarthy, I think the last thing he should do is leave, but Jerry should be the one pushing him out the door. If he goes 11
Jerry's
and 5,
already okay. If he hasn't got an extension, Jerry's given him a choice. Let's say the Cowboys fall this year and start out 4 and 4. Then somebody's making a phone call to Belichick and going, "Come on down. We're going to give you almost what you need, but you can't be the GM, but you'll get everything else."
Lenny, good call.
I like where you're going. Yeah, I need Lenny to call in every.
Oh
Cowboy
gosh,
corner.
you're the only
wouldn't
one.
mind that.
Lenny, you're the best, brother.
All right, have a good one.
Here's the problem in Cowboys Corner every day. There's not enough Cowboys. Like, the Cowboys aren't worth this much attention. There's not enough development. There's not enough advances. The team doesn't do anything worth mentioning. And if for 5 straight days we're just talking about cryptic non-name mentions or cryptic tweets or whatever, CeeDee Lamb is not a story 5 days in a row. CeeDee Lamb will not be a story until September the 9th, the day after the Cowboys lose their first game to the Cleveland Browns without their quarterback, who now has shoulder soreness.
Oh, my prayers came true.
For starters, the Cowboys were a big ticking time bomb right now. This is all Jerry's fault. Okay, so the same reasons you're irritated.
Say that
Cowboys
again.
Corner
What did you just say out loud? What did you just say out loud?
Jerry's not doing anything.
It's all
the
Jerry's
same reason the Cowboy fans are also irritated for the same reason, because I don't recall there ever being a year where there was this little to talk about regarding Dallas.
Oh, it's every year.
What I can say is Cowboy Corner 3 out of what? There's only been one day we haven't gotten a caller. So I think the friends of the show.
I just want to be certain
something.
Here. You think callers are good? That explains a lot about your fandom for the Cowboys. God. I struggle.
You hear that, callers?
Yeah, they do.
That, callers.
You know what they're not going to do?
Save your calls for Cowboy Corner. Save it for Cowboy Corner.
When Lenny calls, he's not calling to talk about your Cowboys. He's calling to tell you why you're wrong.
Sure.
He's trying. It's an intervention. God, we need to figure out whatever that number is, man. We've talked about this before. Whatever the thing where we can trick Isaiah into giving up his Cowboy fandom so he can live a healthy life.
Or have reasonable expectations about the way things happen in the world.
There's so much dumb stuff around Cowboys fan. You know, the Cowboys make up 50% of all merchandise. No, they don't. They make up 15. That's still a lot.
It's still a lot.
I was going to say 15 for 32 teams is a lot. It's a high number of the merchandise. That's enough for if you guys were in Jerry's position and you're looking at the numbers and you're like, hold on. There's 32 teams and I'm making 15% of the. I need a bigger cut. Why should the Jaguars get the same cut as me if I'm selling the same amount of 3 to 4 NFL teams?
So it's different. So the Jaguars make all their money in England.
Why should kids get free health care when I had to pay for my health care? That's what you sound like, Zay. That's what you sound like right now.
In the NFL world, it's different. Not different health care.
And I know you know nothing about this.
The NFL is socialist.
No,
they spread out
it's 100% socialist.
Yeah.
Every single loser who wears a red hat every day doesn't realize that all of the merchandise money and advertising money and sponsor money goes in a thing called NFL Trust. Yeah. Then the NFL Trust gets divided up amongst every team. And what would we call that? What would we call that if we pull all of our resources into one spot and then disperse it evenly amongst everyone?
Yeah.
I will take your call, KKOP listener. If you can tell me what that is called.
Oh, you mean the same situation for America's farmers? Oh, you mean the same situation for the auto industry? Oh, you mean the same situation for big transportation?
Hey,
Begins with a S, and ends with a socialism.
Man, you know what a really good punchline is as Cowboys fan? It's to say that the Jaguars suck. Even though their flag football program in England has 80,000 participants, the reason the flag football is spread across the world to date is what Jacksonville is doing across the ocean, far more significant. But because we have the socialism that is the NFL, Cowboys fan. Stupid.
Yeah, go Cowboys.
Yep, there we go.
Okay. Still.
We're going to make the Cowboys great again. McCag. That was a good one.
What was that one?
McCaga, make Cowboys great again.
Nice.
Yeah.
McCaga.
Yeah. Come on. It's 2 Men On. 95.9 FM and AM 610. The Sports Animal.
On 95.9 FM and AM 610.
Mike's hot.
Animal.
Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On live from the McLeod YMCA. YMCA not joining us today. They got some stuffs going on. Are they with us tomorrow? What's the deal?
They're coming on tomorrow.
All right, tomorrow it's Sadie's on 4th.
We have a fun show at Sadie's tomorrow.
Hey, also after the show tomorrow, a bunch of the Albuquerque Aardvarks are going to meet us. They do like a weekly get-together, help the community kind of thing.
Okay.
They need a little help brainstorming on some events.
All right.
Yeah. So
and we're going to meet us at Sadie's.
They're going to meet us at Sadie's.
Okay.
After the show, talk about what rugby can do for this excellent community that we live in. So That's a positive.
All right, so bring my drinking boots. Is what you're saying.
The
aardvarks can go.
Yeah,
they can go.
Drinking cleats.
Yeah,
is what you need.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna scrum.
I will never do that.
Okay.
Have you seen how long and lean and skinny I am? I will break in half on a rugby pitch.
We have to give away Home Run Derby X tickets. I mean, and when I say have to, I mean we're so fortunate.
Yeah, I like giving away stuff to friends of the show.
But we're not going to do it right now because he sat through the entire commercial break.
What a trooper.
Now, it's been a while, and I know we hadn't mentioned Arby's on the show in weeks, and we did a whole 7 or 8 minutes on it earlier.
Mentioned it twice today.
So friend of the show, Orlando, joins us, and there's no doubt in my mind he just got out of the drive-thru. Orlando, welcome.
Fellas, it's been a minute.
You're busy.
Not a very good friend of the show. Schedule changed, but you guys are hard to get a hold of, too. You're never in studio, man, or you can take phone calls, or hardly ever.
Well, we take them,
but anyway, I do listen to you here and there, and I missed the Arby's thing, darn it. But anyway, more to that in a minute. But it's funny how everything goes full circle. About 6 years ago, I started listening to these two clowns on my way to Portales to visit my son. Morning, where did these two new guys come from? And here we are 6 years later, and you're back on 8 o'clock for the golf thing, and then the wrestling thing at 9. I know one's pre-recorded.
Van's about to cry.
Like, man.
Orlando, it's so funny you're saying that.
Into radio golf or the wrestling, but hey, I give you guys credit, man. You guys are all over the place.
It's so funny you're saying that, Orlando, because that was our social media this past weekend when Van and I did the wrestling show together. There was a lot of, hey, welcome back to the weekend. So we're like, no, we're not going back. We sleep in now. That's our thing.
Yeah. And I did catch some of that, both of you guys, but usually 8 to 9 while I'm off on my workout. What I used to listen to A. Marie, you remember that chick?
R.I.P.
And then 9 o'clock, so I listened to parts of it. Not a big fan of wrestling golf, but anyway. Hey, you guys, I know you guys are Cowboy haters. Looks like we got another Cowboy fan on board there.
You mean realist? You mispronounced realist.
But yeah, realistic Cowboy fan. I'm glad that Jerry Jones hasn't done anything to better the team. That's just going to cushion the blow when we maybe make it to the playoffs and get blown out by a weak Packer team like we did last year.
Love it.
Get ready.
But again, he's already disappointed us. So it can't get any worse. You know what I'm saying?
You would think so, but
him by doing nothing is actually cushioning the blow for us hardcore fans. But anyway, speaking of Arby's, did you know that Arby's has potato cakes are back temporarily?
Orlando, thank you for calling the show. You're the absolute best.
Yeah.
So
good to hear you guys, man.
So funny.
Oh, Orlando, hang on the line. Listen to this, because I don't know if you know, but if you miss A. Marie's show, level up, baby, because Isaiah Johnson and Dale D.C. Cornelius have a Sunday morning football show for you, 8 to 10.
Yes, 8 to 10. And originally it was going to be this Sunday, but we realized the NFL week 1, there's a bye week before the first week of the season. So we're actually, the first show is going to be the 1st, September 1st. And that will be the first one.
Oh, good idea! Not to get out there early in front of it. That's a super good idea. Don't want to build up any.
No, we're still doing the 1 hour show beforehand. But if we did it, we would end up doing the show with no NFL games during a bye week, and that's no fun. So we're doing a pregame show. So if there's no NFL games that day, you can't really pregame anything.
I mean, the season. You could predict the season.
Yeah, we're going to do that the week before the first game.
Okay.
Well, here's the good thing about only having one preseason show. You get to lie all year. You get just to say that's what I said in our pregame, and no one knows any better.
I think that's correct. Call the program.
Be very, very.
Oh, go ahead, Isaiah.
I'll be very, very honest with my takes on there.
505-246-0610. Call the program. We have Home Run Derby X tickets from us to you. You can join Van and I at the Home Run Derby X this Friday night. All you have to do is call this show on the Friend of the Show hotline, 4p-5-246-0610 and give us your prediction for the Cowboys season record, Van. That's all you have to do. You give us your prediction on the Cowboys season record. Now, anything that has 9 wins, that one's going to be wrong.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anything below 9.
8 and 9 and below.
8 and 9 and below are the only acceptable answers. From their terrible running back core, their wide receivers that aren't there, their quarterbacks that won't get paid, and their linebackers that are overvalued. That is where we are currently at, Cowboys, right now. So 505-246-0610. You call this program, and we will give you a set of, is it 2 or 4?
It is 4.
We're giving you a 4-pack? Oh, my gosh. A 4-pack to Home Run Derby X this Friday at Isotopes Park. That is going to be a ton of fun, and I know Van and I are overly excited to be there and be a part of that.
I'll be there. I might be a little tired during the show.
Because of Thursday night with the Aardvarks.
Of that too, but also I'm going to be dropping bombs on stage on Friday. I'm going to see what it's like. See how I'm going to flex that warning track power and probably not get one over the fence during warm-ups.
I mean,
August 31st is creeping up on us. You're not slick over there, Fred. I see it's creeping up on us. It's the 21st, 10 more days.
Traditionally, that is how calendars work, yes.
Well, you just hadn't made any references, and I thought you were trying to be sneaky with it, and then all of a sudden you were going to come out with a big bomb or an update or something. I'm like, the August 31st, the cage match is coming up.
But yeah, big event out there at the Rio Rancho Event Center. We've talked about this a ton. Duke City Championship Wrestling, which, by the way, Hobo Hank, making the rounds right now. Hobo Hank has been on some other programs in town that aren't necessarily this station. And he's telling really good stories to audiences that maybe haven't heard them. Also, we just had I don't know how to say it. We haven't announced this publicly. What is the best way? I'm going to say anonymous. An anonymous business in town purchased a bunch of tickets for some community members.
Yeah.
So we're going to be distributing them to some kids, and that's going to happen tomorrow and into Friday. So we're super excited about people giving to kids in the community through the world of pro wrestling, because that's a weird sentence.
I enjoy any kind of gifts of love and support, especially when you're helping gifts in the community. But there's something just a sprinkle more special about it when it's anonymous.
Yeah.
When it's not like a living commercial. You know
it's
what I
so
mean?
funny because I know who it is, but like, you don't want to say it.
Yeah.
Like they were like, don't, just, we got you. Like, we love what you're doing. Let's get some kids out there. Okay.
So cool.
Good as that.
So cool.
Good for me. Whenever we get back for the break, we continue the round table that is sports in America. Baseball is, it almost feels like it's come a little late to me, Van. Baseball is chugging. It is so boring right now.
I'm glad you're saying that, because I'm going exactly off.
You don't feel that way?
Not even close.
Oh.
Also, who gave the ticket? Was it Banksy? Is it Banksy? Did Banksy give the ticket? You have to keep it a secret.
It wasn't Banksy.
Oh, damn it.
And if it was, I would say it wasn't. It's 2 Men on 95.9 FM and AM 610, the Sports Animal.
What is this banger? I need more of this in my life.
Time for our Isham Dental soundbite of the day. Isham Dental, abq.com, 505-881-0422. Reach out to Scott over at Isham Dental. Do it online. You get that free exam and x-ray. That is, it could be the one. It could be the one to get your dental straight. Get your teeth straight. Literally. All right, our Isham Dental soundbite of the day is a good one. And it's going to allow us to talk a little bit about Major League Baseball. And this one is thank you to the Mets Media Network, because what is SNY? Is that who it is? SNY Media? Because earlier today, Jesse Winker did something kind of fun.
Ooh, I like fun stuff.
Here's our Isham Dental soundbite of the day.
And Winker strokes one deep left center field. Back goes Mullins near the wall. It's out of here! Jesse Winker's first home run as a New York Met is a walk-off shot in the bottom of the ninth, and the Mets do it again with a game-winning home run by Winker. They take 2 out of 3 from the Orioles.
Bottom of the ninth, 3-2 count, leading off. And Winker, who a lot of people were questioning the trade when it happened, wins one against what some people would claim is one of the best teams in baseball in the Orioles. Big deal for Winker. Maybe his bus hasn't left the station. Maybe he's still got it left in him. But day game baseball with walk-offs, that's about as good as it gets.
Day baseball, period. Give me all you got. It's good to see Jesse Winker playing some important baseball, because he had flashes of brilliance there in Cincinnati.
Yeah, he did.
Then got shipped over to Seattle, had flashes of brilliance in Seattle, and was never really in a position to shine. And the Mets are going to make a pretty good playoff run, and he'll be an important piece of that team.
Good thing the Braves are all hurt. Here's what he said after the game. That was quote, "That was crazy. I blacked out. This place is lit. I love this stuff."
Did it rhyme with lit?
It did rhyme with lit.
Cool.
He was like tearing up running around the bases. Pretty sweet.
That is sweet. You love to see that, especially a guy that's been in baseball purgatory for so long.
Yeah.
Gets to play some important baseball.
Well, and at least win a big game, because right now, baseball is a snooze fest, man.
Bro, you are never more wrong than you are right now. The parity in MLB this year, 6 teams in the wild card hunt in each league. It looks like this year there's so much parity that there won't be a 100-win team. The best team in each division are going to have low to mid 90 wins. This is a beautiful thing when you got the playoffs coming up.
It's just missing fights, not enough fights.
Oh, okay.
Here we go. It's not NFL training camp.
There's UFC every Saturday.
The NL West is
this is true.
The NL West is a combined 40 games over 500 since the All-Star break.
They own one.
No other division even has a winning record since the All-Star game. What? I'm not talking teams. You know what I mean. The NL West, 40 games over 500. Yeah. No other division is over 500.
And the baby Colorado Rockies, who are just made up with an injured Chris Bryant and a bunch of isotopes.
Padres.
Yeah. They look like a real baseball team now, and that is super fun to watch. Youngest team in baseball.
The highlight last night was Shohei Ohtani legging out a triple. That's how boring of a Tuesday night it was in baseball.
Hard no. Baseball has never been better. It is unfortunate. There's a lot of big names injured this season, but that happens every year. People are super surprised when someone goes down, and it happens every year. But I love this baseball season, and I'm wildly excited for a really contentious playoff push.
Yeah, later. There's nothing happening right now.
Every game matters.
Francisco Lindor hits his 25th dinger last night. And you're like, he's the first player in Major League Baseball from the shortstop position to hit 25. Well, you know what? Tejada played third sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
This is not a huge stat. Nothing is special right now.
I think what's special is exactly what I'm talking about, all the parity. There's not dominant teams. There's not the Yankees and the Dodgers ruling all of baseball. I mean, that's not happening anymore. There's parity.
It says here the MLB is seeing an average of 28,805 tickets sold per game, a near 1% increase from last year. And the national TV ratings, both ESPN and Fox are experiencing upticks in MLB coverage viewership. ESPN is up by 6% to an average of 1.5
Well, I can help with that
per
part.
game.
The ESPN one I can give you specifically.
Okay, and then Fox is up 7%.
They got rid of Jessica Mendoza.
That's what I'm saying. You already knew it. You knew exactly where I was going.
Oh, that's so funny.
You get rid of the voices that people don't want to hear,
Uh-huh.
and you change up your talking head shows in a way to where you get some people to excite other people about baseball, and you get viewers to turn out. Like the Fox one, I think, and this might be wrong, but there was obviously a shock to the viewership of Fox baseball when they let the greatest broadcaster of all time, Joe Buck, go over to ESPN's Monday Night Football, and that audience was sad, but it's been some time, and they're coming back.
And the Home Run Derby, with an average audience of 5.45 million, saw an 11% decline.
That's so few people to watch anything anymore. That's like very bad.
Yeah. There was no Ohtani.
Yeah.
There was no Judge. There was no Soto. Like they asked for those numbers. But even
those
like
were the worst numbers since 2014.
Even just slight growth in the game of baseball year over year is promising, because except for the steroid era, the McGuire Sosa, we've seen it go the other way. Like just slight. Basketball past baseball. Hockey is creeping towards baseball. Soccer is on fire.
Well,
soccer is on its way.
And that ticket sales thing that Isaiah's talking about, cool, it looks good on paper. It's not super real. So like attendance is so bad last year. I'll just give you one example. Oakland. And now this is Oakland's last year, and fans are super turning out at the end of the season. And I get it, they didn't at the beginning. But if we're only talking 28,000 people, that's a third of Dodger Stadium.
And it's not really A's fans buying tickets.
No,
it's
people everyone else.
It's people going to see the last Giants game in Oakland, the last Dodgers game in Oakland, the last Mariners game in Oakland.
It said MLB. It said MLB is seeing the average. So I think it's all. I think they may have took tickets sold for all teams.
Well, you gotta if you want a truer percentage, you got to take out the outliers.
Yeah, no Dodgers.
Take out Dodgers, Yankees.
Yeah, take out the Cardinals. Take out the. There's a handful of teams that are always at the very top.
Take out Dodgers, Yankees on the top, and then take out A's and Rays on the bottom, and then show me where it's at.
Okay, but I would. It says in comparison, a lot of this is in comparison to the year before. So I think whatever system they're using, they use the same system this year. So even then, like even if it's inaccurate, it was the same inaccurate number last year. And whatever bad math problem that is, there's a 1% increase, which is really not a lot at all. So you can make the argument that it stayed the same.
Well, when you talk about huge numbers, 1%'s a lot. If you have 1% of the biggest pie that you've ever seen, that's way better than 1% of a moon pie. But I
like pie.
Yeah, who doesn't? I can't.
It's way better than cake.
Are you serious? Way better or just better?
Light years better.
No, it has to do with circumstance.
Okay.
Like what environment are you in?
All right.
Or ice cream cake.
Can you compete with shepherd's pie? Can you make shepherd's cake?
Yeah,
no.
You can absolutely.
You will get locked up for years for that kind of behavior.
Marie Antoinette
pie is significantly better than cake. Because her stupid loser plebeians didn't deserve
the sorry
pie.
People.
Yeah, because cake is gross. That's why she said, let them eat cake. She's like, no, I'm saving my delicious pies for myself.
It was actually because they wanted.
It sounds like you dislike cake more so than you like pie. That much.
Isaiah, that's the best cake you've ever had.
That's pretty good.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Did I say take? I meant cake. That's the best cake.
That's so overrated.
Pause.
Unpause.
No,
okay.
Or I guess I could say no Diddy, like the pause, no Diddy.
No, we were pausing. We were doing Simon Says. The Yankee game last night against the Cleveland Commanders went 4 hours and 5 minutes.
Okay. Was anybody left at the stadium? Because apparently that's super awful bad. Games aren't supposed to last that long anymore. You can't play baseball for that long.
The last time a game went 4 hours and 5 minutes was 2022, right before the pitch clock, where 43 of them did that. It seemed like a marathon last night. because games now get over in 2 hours and 45 minutes.
Wait, what was there injuries? Why was there so much stoppage time?
Because Staten Island coaches were yelling at them.
Yeah, that's a pretty good reason.
Super slowing them down.
Yeah, they had to stop the game and make sure every child in the stadium was happy.
Yeah. Excuse me, we don't want your coach to yell at us. Is everything good?
Would you like can we take selfies in between innings? No, it's okay, Blue. We'll wait a few minutes.
I will say that the pitch clock at the game, while at a game, I haven't super noticed. I guess what I have noticed is I don't go to my phone between pitches as much. The pitch clock at home, when I have a game on, makes it so much better. Like the game is in a length that I can stomach, as opposed to turn on the Cardinals game and start a puzzle.
Well, the problem is, like, when we're at a game live in person, like, we're making the rounds and getting loose and having fun, not just sitting there and being a baseball fan for 2.5 hours.
Yeah, or being a producer. Because, like, for me, I didn't have to do any of the baseball games without the pitch clock. I started doing the Isotope games right when they started using the pitch clock. I don't know if it was right when, but close to it. And I haven't really done a game longer than 4 hours, and that's including pregame and postgame. So,
well, also there were 23 walks last night between Cleveland and New York. So
23 walks.
There were 23.
Oh my God!
Find the zone.
What's on average? Like half that?
No, like like 6.
Yeah,
like
half an inning, like a walk. Excuse me.
Do they have
half a
pictures
walk? Half a walk an inning is basically league standard.
If you look at the pictures, is this like something that you could have predicted? It would have been a high number.
No, it's
weather conditions.
You almost have to look at the umpire on this kind of stuff, because it's about zone stuff. You know,
what are you doing, bro?
And if it's too tight, like, and I'm this guy too. Whenever I was umpiring regularly, shin to chin. Like, get it off your shoulder. Like, we're swinging today.
Yeah.
Like, no one came here to watch you walk to first base. Like, this is a game of baseball. And if you put 23 guys on, like, trotting out of the batter's box, that's a boring ass game.
Also, nobody adjusted after the first couple innings. They don't change umpires every inning. It's the same guy for 9 innings. Like, you got to adjust. If it's not a robot, you got to move that box around.
It was a sweet opportunity for grandpas in attendance, though, because they could say, in my day.
This was a normal baseball game.
Josh Sushan joins us after the break. It's 2 Men On, 95.9 FM and AM 610, live from the Cloud YMCA, the sports animal. Welcome back to the program. Welcome back to 2 Men On. We're live in the McLeod YMCA. We've had a fun one today. Breaking news before we bring on Josh Sushan. Dave Williams has been named the interim vice president and director of athletics for UNM. My 2 cents, the absolute best they could have done, and I recognize you have to consider outside applicants, but Dave should be the front runner regardless. He is an absolute professional.
Chip.
Okay.
Good dude.
That's
sure.
Freddie's take on that, and we'll break that down at length tomorrow when we know a little bit more. Also, we'll reach out to Dave for comment, although I imagine he will be the busiest human being on earth forever now. Ever.
I mean, it's a weird time for a transition. Week 1 of a football season when you're trying to formulate a much better game plan to improve your program, but he's the right guy to start putting in the work for it.
He didn't get ready, stays ready. Joining us on the program, a guy who I believe is ready, Josh Sushan.
Good evening, boys. I hope I'm ready, because if not, then I'm in deep trouble.
Well, you're kind of out of your normal element here as the Isotopes won the first game of a series last night. Let's go.
Hey, that was kind of a cheap shot, although an accurate shot. Yes. There's not been a lot of wins in game 1 of the series. Thanks for the reminder. We'll take every win that we can get.
Also, my shot wasn't as good as any of Greg Jones's shots last night, as he was 2 for 4, double and a walk, the 6 multi-hit performance for he this month. The dude's got a lot of talent, my man. Send him up to the Rockies. They're winning games.
Okay, so that was a really good transition. We need to make sure that we acknowledge that was a super good transition. Here's the thing about Greg Jones, and I like your energy about him because I am a huge fan of his and his potential. He did get called up earlier this year, and he didn't play. He barely played at all. So he needs to stay here at AAA so that he can play and keep getting better and better. And I know this is where sometimes there's like this disconnect of, oh, the guy wants to be in the major leagues. Everyone wants to be in the major leagues because the lifestyle's so much better. The money's so much better. The size of the ballparks, all that kind of stuff, everything.
Yes, 100%.
But, yeah, like I went to the Astros game Monday, right? There's a roof. It was like 81 degrees in there. There's no roof here in Sugarland. It's 105 degrees, right? There was maybe 1,500 people in the ballpark here yesterday compared to 35,000 at the Astros, right? Everyone wants to be in the big leagues. But when he was in the big leagues, he didn't play. And you just don't get better when you don't play. And he's mostly been a shortstop his whole life. He's been predominantly a center fielder this year. And there's so many things that he still – like he's so much fun to watch, but he still needs to keep getting better in center field. And he needs to keep getting better with his hitting and all that. And also, like, I like describing him. So I want him to stay AAA so that I can keep, like, describing what he's doing on the field because power, average, speed. He threw out another guy on the bases. He's got a phenomenal arm. There's so many things that he can do on the field. And, sometimes it's not the end of the world to just keep playing every day and keep getting better at AAA.
A former Isotopes who's tearing it up for the Rockies now. I was fortunate enough to pick up Michael Tolia on my fantasy baseball team. He's coming off the bench for me, playing some corner infield, playing some outfield. How lucky am I to swoop up this guy on waivers?
Well, you'd be even luckier if their fantasy baseball include defense because he's really good at first base. I'm sure that your batting average is probably not doing so well when he's in the lineup, but your power is definitely doing well. And, so there's a lot of things about Michael Tolia that's kind of like the modern player, right, where he doesn't hit for a very high average, but his slugging percentage is outstanding. And he draws enough walks that you feel like, okay, if he can keep drawing a few more, that'll balance out the lack of singles. But he's so good defensively, and he's probably got the best pure power on the team. And this is what the Rockies were always hoping when they made him a first-round pick out of UCLA. And we've seen this a ton with the Isotopes over the years. And I feel like this is a case where, because of all of Chris Bryant's injuries, that's opened the door for a variety of people. But overwhelmingly, it's opened up the door for Michael Tolia. Yep. And Tolia's getting a chance, the longest extended chance that he's ever gotten to play first base in the big leagues. And we're seeing exactly what he can do, which is gold glove caliber defense, a lot of power, a few walks. And if he can just mix in a few more singles and a few more walks, then he's a borderline all-star.
How dare you, Sue? She's hitting 325 over his last 40 at-bats. Thank you very much.
Okay, let's go.
Small sample.
For the first time in the history of the Albuquerque Isotopes, they had to stitch the letters Peralta over the back of a jersey. Luis Peralta made his debut for the Isotopes yesterday. Josh, how many debuts have you called in your career for the Isotopes?
Wait, I'm sorry, you're cutting out. What was the question? How many what?
How many player debuts have you called in your history with the Isotopes?
Oh, my goodness. Okay, well, this is year 11. On average, there's probably at least 10 per year, maybe 15. So I'm talking, I would say easily 100, probably around the neighborhood of 150.
Luis Peralta was out there hitless, but I mean, a dude. Did he impress early? I mean, he's the first time you've ever said Peralta and Isotopes together.
These are all factual statements. Here's the thing. So the Rockies got Peralta in the trade that sent Jalen Beeks to the Brewers, I believe it was. And so this is one of those, this is the ultimate trading deadline transaction, right? We've got a lefty reliever that can help you get to the playoffs. And he's not, we're not going to the playoffs. So give us a guy who we hope that can be as good as him or better than him in the future. And that's this dude. And his ERA is phenomenal. And his opponent's batting average. Every measure that you look at for a pitcher, strikeout to walk ratio, strikeout to innings pitch ratio. This dude dominated single A and double A. Rockies get him. They start him at double A just to keep him in the same league for a bit. And then they're like, all right, send him to the major or send him to AAA. So now he's here at AAA. He looked really good last night. And tell you what, we got some serious arms, boys. Between Jaden Hill and Seth Halverson and Luis Peralta, all three of those guys just joined us within either the last couple days or last couple weeks. And all three of these guys, I feel like that's a pretty amazing three players that you can add to the Rockies bullpen at some point in the near future. Because those guys all throw really hard with great secondary stuff. I feel like the Rockies are quietly putting together some super powerful arms that can be really good in the bullpen in the very near future.
20 minutes ago, Joey Votto announced on Instagram he's retired from professional baseball. Do you have a Votto story? Do you have a memory? And where do you think he's going to be ranked amongst the guys that he played alongside?
So I don't have any personal memories of Votto. The main memory that always stands out for me is when he was hurt and he went on the Reds broadcast and he just gave this beautiful 2 to 3 minute just speech about baseball and what makes it such a great game and how our game is different than others and how it's a little bit more laid back at times and how it's a conversational sport and it's a strategy sport and it's not a sport that's action in your face at every second. And when these big moments happen, it's almost like you've earned these big moments as a fan because of the buildup and the drama that got you to these and the game within the game. And it was one of those where he's just completely oblivious that there's a baseball game that's going on that where you usually pause in order to describe it. But because it was on TV, it's fine. And because of what he was saying and who he is, it made it better. And again, it was just such this beautiful speech that I probably need to do a better job of memorizing and being able to say whenever people are like, hey, baseball's pretty slow. And, how's baseball trying to attract the younger audience? And my message would be the speech that Joey Votto gave, that's baseball in its essence. It may not be for everyone, but those who love it really love it.
The next place we see him could be anywhere. We will absolutely see him in the Hall of Fame. Josh Sushan, thank you so much.
Yeah, you're very welcome. Thank you so much for having me. I'll talk to you tomorrow.
Good dude.
The Blue Jays straight up messed up by not giving him at least one at-bat in Toronto.
Could have sold the jersey forever.
Yep.
Forever.
Some huge slip up.
Also, as a Cardinals fan, he can't hurt me anymore.
He's gone. He's gone.
Isaiah, final words?
Go Boys.
Okay. Yeah.
Cowboys, that is.
Uh-huh.
Thank you for another episode of Daddy and the Boys. Ugh. Van?
Tell you what a great day here at the YMCA. I hope a few friends of the show popped in so they can start their health journey like I did a couple years ago.
Oh.
And make sure you check out the opening drive tomorrow morning with F and JJ.
Good job, everyone. Keep breathing.
See you tomorrow. Okay.